Pharmacist Elite family, and welcome back to our page. Today we're gonna start with a question. Do you have difficulty falling asleep? The answer to this question, sadly for 69% around the world, is yes. This is exactly what the advertisement company wants to hear, because they say, now why don't you use our product to have a peaceful night's sleep just like a baby. And this is exactly where we fall into the advertisement scam once again.
Oh no.
So today we're going to talk about one of the problems associated with the sleeps called insomnia. This could be translated as either having a difficulty falling asleep or maintaining your sleeps during night or waking up too early. The consequences of not sleeping good, it can be tiredness during the day and fatigue, and then bring the cognitive function down so you don't function as normal and affect your daily life. On top of that, the study shows it can affect many organs in our body, and really importantly, it brings the immune system down, which means you become a great candidate for other diseases or infections. So it's really important we start fixing this sooner than later. Before we talk about any medication, there is always one thing we can do to have a good night's sleep, and that is called sleep hygiene. These are some of the tasks we can do during the day and night to have a better night's sleep. Let's see what we can do during the day. First thing during the day is short your nap as much as possible, or even avoid it. If you have to have it, keep it between 15 to 30 minutes to not affect your sleeps at night. Next is physical activity. As much as you have a physical activity during the day is perfect, because you burn the extra energy and you put your body in better rest and a peaceful environment for a deeper sleep at night. That is really important. If you are like me that you want to do exercise after work, don't do it so late before your sleeps, because that can actually have so much energy in your body that also cause a sleeping issue. So keep it as early as possible. Now let's see what stuff we can do for a better hygiene at night. First thing is really important to have a good rhythm and a schedule. That means if you're sleeping at a certain time during the week, it's really important we keep the similar habit during the weekends to make sure our body do not go out of the sync during the holiday or the day off. Next thing is keeping the good schedule for our dinners, and also what kind of a dinner we eat. Since nowadays everything is fried and a fast food, so it's really important to have these heavy meals as early as possible, so to give enough time to your body to digest all this heavy material to have a peaceful night's sleep. In addition, it's really important try to avoid the spicy and heavy meals as much as possible. Even though you don't listen, I still say it. Another thing is a kind of the liquid we drink. This includes coffee, frappuccino, tea, black or green. In addition, alcohol, sugary drinks like soda, as well as energy drinks. So there are two things about the drinks. It keeps you go peeing all the time at night, which is bad. And also it's really important, it gives you caffeine or too much sugar as an energy, which give you a hard time to fall asleep. So make sure drink as early as possible. This includes alcohol as well. Now let's see what are stuff we can do to our room. Room needs to be dark and quiet. Even though if you're like me and keep fighting with your partner to have a TV in the room, the answer is sadly it's no, because it will be affect your sleep. I'm so upset about it, I know, so I feel you. This also includes the lights that we have now in many kids' room to make sure they have a peaceful sleep that actually prevent them to have a good night's sleep. Some other thing we can do to our room is a temperature. Our body in general wants a cooler temperature to have less energy and also peaceful reset to your body. To make sure keep the room temperature cool, not freezing cold, not hot like an oven. And also make sure if you're using a blanket and everything for your pillowcases to be a cotton material, because this helps that the air circulate very well so you have a better night's sleep. Another point for our room is a clock in the room. Some people, just like me, before the stressful day, they want to fall asleep, but they keep looking at the clock and they get really stressed. So that is an anxiety alert. So make sure keep it away, do not have it in your room, so don't get anxious that affect your sleep. most importantly is the cell phones. These cell phones and actually is a huge issue these days because it causes two things. One, it has the blue light, which actually this bright light can affect our sleeps as one issue. Even though the new phone says we have night vision, don't fall for it, because the second reason for a phone is your mindset. You get too busy with reading the news or watching something that you cannot have that peace in your mind to fall asleep. So keep the phone away, having a night vision or not. Some general tips really important that we keep in mind. If you do not fall asleep within 15 minutes in a room, it's okay. Get out of bed, go walk around and come back to sleep. That doesn't mean go watch another clips on Instagram or YouTube. Also, it's really important how long is a good time to sleep, 8 hours or more, because the study shows 7 hours and 6 hours or less over long term, it can cause many problems in our body. Is it okay if I replace the night sleeps with a morning sleep instead? The answer is sadly no. Our body has something called circadian rhythm, which means wherever we are in the world, our body will be notice when is the day, when is the night. So this inside clock will be function whether we sleep during the day or night. So the study shows we not get a good peaceful reset to our body if you sleep during the day. Now if you try all the sleep hygiene stuff and we still have a problem, now is the time we can discuss with our doctor to make sure what are the medication we can use to help us sleep better. First medication I'm going to talk about is melatonin, because this is exactly the hormone our body naturally produces as well during the dark, and then eventually cause the alertness of my body come down and I fall asleep. So this is exactly now we have as an over-the-counter medication too. Without prescription we can get it. So melatonin can be used for the people who have difficulty sleeping, people traveling in a different time zones, or people have a different shifts of the night and the day that have difficulty sleeping. So I'm going to put the dosage out for this medication because it's available to the hand of everyone. So the correct dose for this one is between 0.3 to 10 milligrams that we can take. It's really important we start low and make sure we add it on to see what strength exactly work in my body. Make sure we do not take it more than necessarily because it can be harmful, just like other medication. In a similar family, we can mention another prescription which is called remelaton, which can be used. And another medication in the family is called pasimelaton. It's really important for my other colleagues and who write the prescription to know. This medication is FDA approved only for a problem called non-24 hours sleep disorder. This includes the blind people who do not get the light and the dark in their body to change the level of the melatonin and other hormones. So this is only approved for that and is not approved for insomnia. Another group of medication called Z drug family. These are medications that simply start with the letter Z, that's why we call it Z drugs. Example is zaleplon, zolpidem, esozopiclone. These are medications that can help us sleep as well. One unique side effect for this is something called complex sleep-related behavior. These are some of the behavior that normally we don't do during the sleeps, but now it could happen as a consequence of this medication, such as sleepwalking, go outside in a car and drive while you're asleep, cooking, and many other things which could be dangerous, so we have to be watchful. Last group of medication is benzodiazepine. These are the medication that can have different use and actually used for different psychiatric problems. One of the use can be used for also sleeping. However, due to the high dependence and the side effect list of this medication and dangers for this medication is not recommended to use as much. In general about the medication, is really important when you take this medication, make sure you take it 1 hour or 30 minutes before you sleep while you're at home. So do not take this medication if you're outside of home and drive back, because sometimes it could be effective, bring your cognitive down and your alertness, and it can cause many harmful consequences. And also, do not take this medication on your own. Make sure you discuss this with your doctor to make sure what is exactly fitting you better. Now, this comes to the conclusion that our mission in this page is be kind to your health. It's really important. As much as we care about nails and beauty and vitamins and stuff that we take during the day, simply by just sleeping, we can prevent so many bad things happen to our body. So just simply turn off the TV and turn off your phone and have a good night of sleeps. Thanks for watching. Till next video, everybody.